Good morning, class. My name is Cromwell Henry, and I am presenting today on the topic net neutrality. Does it benefit consumers? The reason why I chose this particular topic is that it has been bandied around in the media, in Congress, among politicians for the last year or so, but I've never really understood what it meant. And I didn't take the time to find out either. But then I saw this topic among the list of suggested topics for this course, and I thought it was a very opportune time to research the topic and find out for myself what is net neutrality and what is the benefit of it to consumers. That said, what is net neutrality? Net neutrality is the principle that internet service providers treat all content equally and not to give preference to some digital content providers. That means the consumer can load every website, app, video, photograph, etc. equally, regardless of where the content is hosted. In other words, an open internet free for everyone at equal usage. There were several findings from my research. What I found during my research is that the internet does, in fact, facilitate free speech, which is a fundamental constitutional right to citizens in democratic societies. More than half of US adults use the internet for political purposes during the 2010 US midterm elections. And that was the primary source of political information. Today, that number has tripled. The current president uses the internet to speak to his base via Twitter. President Obama, when he was in office, in a speech, famous speech that he gave in 2014, he said, an open internet is essential to the American economy. And that was one of the findings of my research. The internet is used heavily for commerce, for business. Consumers shop online. They pay their bills online. They apply for service online. They do banking and other financial transactions online. Indeed, the internet is essential to any economy. Internet service providers engage in practices that slow down the internet. This is another of my findings. Uh, in order to force consumers to pay higher prices for faster speeds, so that these service providers slow down the service, especially if consumers are using the internet for streaming videos or movies. They would slow down your speed and force you to pay more to get higher speed. This is one of the practices that net neutrality will discourage. Widespread use of the internet and the dependence on the internet by consumers have brought it into line with other utilities such as water and electricity. In other words, the internet has now become an essential service, just as we cannot do without electricity, or our lives are changed, altered, slowed down, or reduced whenever there is no electricity or water. Similarly, whenever there is no internet, our lives are impacted adversely. The conclusion, therefore, is that regulation is necessary to prevent service providers from engaging in practices that are injurious to consumers' pocket and our financial benefit. So clearly, net neutrality regulates the service provider to all. And so without it, consumers will suffer. Consumers will not benefit. And so I believe my point is made that net neutrality does in fact benefit the consumer. Thank you.